And on today's show, how to design the perfect hybrid working retirement. Part one of this week's series on Don't Worry, Retire Happy with Tom Hagna's public television special with nationally recognized author, platform speaker, and retirement expert, Tom Hagna. Hi everyone, I'm Steve Savant, financial columnist and contributing author to InsMark, Life Specs, and Backroom Technician. Let's get down to business. Well, welcome to the show, Tom.
Hey, great, Steve. Great to be with you.
Great to have you back. You've been on our show several times, and now this public television special that you've been doing, huge. Saw it in December. It's out there all over. You should see it. If you haven't seen it yet, you need to watch this show because this is how consumers, they really love this show.
Yeah, it's been going great.
So talk to me a little bit about when we're talking about a plan. Now we're going to talk about something that sounds so obvious, you know what I mean, when I think about it, but it's really not as obvious as we think. And one of the reasons, of course, not only is Tommy a popular platform speaker, but Tom has huge resume. He's written several books. He's on MDRT, some of the top places and platform to speak, as well as he's done a huge service to our country. Thank you for your service in the U.S. Army as Lieutenant Colonel for 22 years. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve.
Let's talk about the plan. It seems pretty obvious, but really, we need a plan.
Yeah. So if we look at this whole new public TV special and the new book, it's 7 steps to retirement security, 7 simple steps. And step number 1, you got to have a plan. And the reason is if you have a plan, you're going to be more comfortable and confident in retirement than if you don't have a plan. So the people who've had a plan, they're much more confident than people who don't have a plan. And how are you going to get somewhere if you don't know where you're going?
Tom, I'm really surprised. In many of our audiences, we have a lot of financial advisors that do a plan, but the vast majority of people who are licensed are still selling product only and not an integrated and correlated plan.
Yeah, I mean, you really got to have a plan. And for financial advisors, they need to be doing a holistic view of the client. What's their situation? What's best for them instead of just a product? What are the risks that they're facing? And how do you take those risks off the table?
Well, kind of walk us through what your thinking is here.
So, you know, when your parents retired, it was much simpler. They had a pension, they had their Social Security, and there was very little need for them to really save up money in a nest egg. Well, our retirement's very different. Many of us are going to have little or no pension. Social Security is still going to be there, but the majority of our retirement is going to fall on us and our saving. And many people have not saved enough. They forgot to pay themselves first, and they really don't have a plan. And they need to have a financial professional. That's the other thing. This is the first time the American people have been told, you need to have a plan and you need to work with a financial professional. This is not a do-it-yourself project.
When I think about people that are really skilled in retirement modeling and understand this, there are many out there that this is all they do is retirement planning.
Yeah.
Tommy, when you're talking about this, people, the consumer is just waking up to this. Our idea of bringing new ideas to the table. The last show that we had you on, we did guaranteed income. That's all we talked about.
Right.
This is going to incorporate that plus much more.
Plus life insurance, plus long-term care, plus using home equity wisely. There's a lot of things to retiring properly. So the 2 basic questions: what do I need my retirement income to do, and what do I want my retirement income to do? Now, for most people, it should be the same for what do I need my retirement income to do. It's got to cover your basic expenses in retirement. But as far as what do I want it to do, see, I call this the paychecks. And I call this the play checks. Because if the truth were told, most people aren't fully enjoying their retirement. And we all know people like this. They're in their 60s, 70s, they got plenty of money, they don't even touch it. Now, when I was an advisor, I'd kind of bust those clients and say, wait a minute now, you told me when you retired you were going to join the country club, you're going to buy new boats, you're going to go on a cruise, you're going to see the world. Have you done that yet? Most of these people say, no, we haven't done that yet. You know why? Because just in case. They're saving this money just in case. They don't have a plan, and they're concerned about everything that's going on. And so what happens is they don't touch their money, they don't touch their money, they don't touch their money, then they die. What happens to money? Goes to kids. What do the kids do with it? They join the country club, they buy a new boat, they go on a cruise, and they see the world. And so what I'm trying to help 78 million baby boomers is, number 1, not run out of money, and number 2, actually enjoy their retirement.
Now, Tom, I've heard you say this before, and this is part of your plan. If I have guaranteed, I'm going to have guaranteed expenses, something I can't get around. You're trying to match up guaranteed expenses that are going to have some kind of inflation to it with guaranteed income that's going to have some kind of COLA to it.
Yeah, I mean, ideally you'd have a guaranteed lifetime income with COLA adjustment. If you don't have guaranteed income with COLA adjustment, then what you want to do is you can invest the rest of that money more aggressively into stocks and real estate and mutual funds so that if we get inflation, the portfolio goes up, and then you can take profits and buy more income.
What more about the plan that you're really bringing us to today?
Well, another thing I say in the television shows, don't base it on popular notions. Like some people say you need to have 80% of your pre-retirement income to retire successfully. There are many people who've retired on 60% or 50%. So it's what's important to the client. not some popular notion. And then I want them to enjoy their retirement and not live that just in case retirement. Look, in my master's book, John Homer's in my retirement income master's book. It was my second book. And he's got some great questions. And I always say this is a questions business and a words business. Listen to some of the questions that he has in his legacy questionnaire. If you were examining your family 20 years after your passing, what must have happened in order for you to be happy with your planning? What if the examination takes place 100 years after your passing? That's a powerful question. How do you keep your net worth from poisoning your true wealth? What is the purpose of your wealth? I mean, think about it. Most people don't even think of questions like these. How do you provide tools instead of toys? How can you empower children to reach their dreams? How will you protect assets from creditors and divorce? Does your estate plan reinforce core values that you esteem, or does it just deal with the stuff? And if you think about it, Steve, most people's stuff just deals with their stuff,
right,
instead of their values and what they esteem. Will your plan encourage your children to acquire their own wealth or just consume yours? That's a powerful question. Will the date of your death become the date of your heir's retirement?
These are powerful questions, and these are all from John Homer's legacy questionnaire.
So that's all in my retirement income master's book. And John Homer's a top producing agent up in Utah, and he works with very wealthy people. And these are very powerful questions.
We come back from the break. We're going to talk about a little bit about actually working during retirement, which sounds so counterintuitive. We'll be right back after. It's not how much money you make for your clients, it's how much money they get to keep, especially in retirement. But retirement income could cause Social Security benefits to be taxed. One tax advantage alternative is life insurance designed as a non-modified endowment contract that can generate tax-free income without taxing Social Security benefits. These contracts offer differing funding options depending upon your client's risk tolerance. For more information on how life insurance can be part of your retirement planning, just email me at steve@downtobusiness.tv. Brought to you by Ash Brokerage, the practice enhancement company. Well, welcome back to our second segment. Of course, we're with Tom Hagna. Tommy, your new book out, Don't Worry, Retire Happy. Talk about that.
Well, I have a whole series of things. So there's a new book, Don't Worry, Retire Happy, 7 Steps to Retirement Security. There's a DVD that comes with it. And what agents all across the country are finding success with is having a client watch the DVD, read the book, and they're literally filling out the applications afterwards. There's a bonus DVD on guaranteed income where I talk about the importance of guaranteed lifetime income and life insurance. There's an audio book because some people listen to it audio. I've got an audio CD on long-term care and Social Security. I have a whole Social Security guide on how to maximize Social Security benefits. So what I've tried to do is put together an entire package from A to Z, video, audio, and reading, that anybody can pick this stuff up and learn how to retire successfully and happy.
Well, let's talk about this new section that we're talking about in our segment about working and retirement income at the same time. I thought that was counterintuitive, but you say no, this is the way we're going.
No, I mean, I think a lot of people, if you think about it, some people have worked and worked and worked, and then they retire and they drop dead. For many people, they can't go cold turkey, and for many people, they're not going to be able to because they're going to have to work in retirement. They haven't saved enough money. But there's a lot of great reasons why you may want to consider working, at least part-time, doing volunteer work, doing something you've always wanted to do. You know, one of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to be a golf course marshal 2 days a week. You know why? Because I get free green fees the other 5 days. So those are just simple ways that you can, that working really pays off. You know, George Burns said retirement at age 65 is ridiculous. When I was 65, I still had pimples. And if you think about it, working just a little longer can help you increase your earnings, increase your savings, decrease your spending, and increase Social Security benefits. So there was a study out that said if you just work 3 to 4 years longer in retirement, it can increase your actual retirement by almost 50%.
Now, once I get to 70 though, right, I can't really bump that Social Security benefit up anymore, can I?
No, so you want to delay your Social Security as long as you can, but 70 is the max. Once you're age 70, you want to start taking that Social Security.
Have you seen people that are walking down this road, taking their retirement income, taking their Social Security, and still working? What are they working? 10 hours, 20 hours? What are they working?
Yeah, well, look, I say if you're going to keep working, it's not that beneficial to take your Social Security benefits because, you know, and we can get in this under the maximizing Social Security benefits, but over a certain dollar amount, like $15,480, they take $1 for every $2 they pay you. So now they don't keep that. That money does go back into your calculation. But in most cases, if you're going to work, I wouldn't take your Social Security benefits. And here's another thing. If you can bridge your income between 62 and 70. Find something else. Take your IRA, take your 401k. You don't want to take your Social Security benefits because you want to delay that till age 70, because if you're the breadwinner, that covers 2 lives and it's inflation protected. Where can you buy that anywhere?
I can't.
Yeah.
Okay, well, walk us through a little bit more, because I think a lot of people are interested in the reason why we're working, why people have to. You said some people just don't have enough, but there's other reasons.
Well, people enjoy working. They want to stay active and involved. They need money to buy extras. They need money to make their ends meet. And so there's a lot of good reasons why people want to continue to work. Now, if you look, here's the workers who say that they're going to work after retirement, and here's the workers who actually do work. So a lot of people don't realize that. Many people say, "Oh, I'm going to work," but a lot of people can't because they become disabled or something happens to them, and so we encourage people to work for just at least a few more years while you can. I'd rather see somebody work from 62 to 67 than from 85 to 100. That's just me.
Well, that's a huge disparity, though, between what I will do and what I did do.
Right. Now, here's that earnings test that we talked about, because you asked me this. So if you work after full retirement age, which for most people is age 66 or 67, there's no penalty to your earnings. But if you if you start drawing Social Security at 62, they're going to take $1 in benefits for every $2 earned over $15,480, and that's the 2014 number. At 2015, this goes up a little bit. And then in the age of your full retirement, there's a special rule, but that only applies for a few months. So what I normally say is, if you're going to work, I wouldn't necessarily take my Social Security benefits. And then there's one other thing, and this is the taxation of Social Security benefits. And I don't know how much time we have, Steve, but this is important to me because I made $1 Million Roundtable my first year in the business. I worked zip code 85206 out in Mesa, Arizona. And there's a lot of older people out in zip code 85206, and I learned about Social Security taxation by accident. I found there were a lot of middle-income senior citizens who had tax-free bonds. Why did they buy tax-free bonds? Because they thought they were tax-free. Did you know every penny you earn in tax-free bond interest counts towards the taxation of Social Security benefits? So by just moving some of these middle-income seniors' tax-free bonds into a deferred annuity, I got them from paying tax on 85% of their Social Security benefits down to paying no Social Security tax.
That's a huge issue, because everybody's talking about, I'll wait, but then I don't know how to deal with the taxation treatment. And you're talking about moving people into a whole new realm of reducing their exposure to Social Security taxation.
So here's how Social Security taxation works. If you have less than $25,000 of income single, if you're married, have less than $32,000, you'll pay 0 tax on your Social Security benefits. But if you're single and have $25,000 to $34,000, or married $32,000 to $44,000, then up to 50% of your Social Security benefits can be taxed. If you're single and have income over $34,000 and married have over $44,000, then up to 85% of your Social Security benefits can be taxed. Now, what counts? I have a good word. Basically, everything. Now, there's a few things that don't count. Roth IRAs don't count. Life insurance doesn't count. But almost everything counts. Your pension counts, your CD interest counts, your rental income counts, your tax-free bond interest counts. Half of your Social Security benefits count. So if you got somebody who has $1,000 a month from Social Security, $1,000 a month from their pension, $1,000 a month from CD interest, $1,000 a month from tax-free bonds, we can get those people from 85% down to 0 just by showing them how this works and by using annuities properly.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, Tommy. Remember, before moving forward with any of our ideas on our show, always consult your tax advisor, legal counsel, or your broker-dealer compliance officer. Missed an episode? Just go out to our video archives. And remember, you could be wiser as an educated advisor. I'm Steve Savant, and we'll see you tomorrow.